Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 152, right here in the oldest city in the nation, Captain's Quarters podcast. And my guest tonight is sitting here with me, sharing the evening with me. This is Alyx. We'll have more about her as we go through. She is a very integral part of Ancient City Con, correct?
That's right.
A host, a performer, a cosplayer. We're going to talk about those kind of things, hosting, cosplaying mostly, performances, and we're going to talk about Ancient City Con coming up this weekend. We want to share that with everybody and have everybody come on out and have a good time. But as always, how do you find us, Davey? Go to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, hit that QR code. We want you to like us, follow us, and subscribe to us. Now, I personally like it when you like me. That makes me feel good. But subscribe and follow helps us out a lot on all the other things we need so that you'll keep following us. It's important. So go to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, Captain's Quarters podcast every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sponsored by, in fact, the entire show. Our major sponsor is the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum right here in St. Augustine. The museum has been here. It will be our 15th year coming up. Interesting to be a part of. Now, we always kick off the show with a couple of segments. Our first segment, kind of serious, very historical, but historical in modern day terms. Davey, how many do we have tonight?
We got 9.
Oh my goodness, 9.
And
All right.
One.
This requires me to put my glasses on. We call this 8 Bells, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by our friends at the Rikers family of reenactors. They do British, they do Spanish, they do colonial, and they do Ren Fair. They do it all, and hopefully they may take a visit and come hang out with us this weekend also. But the Rikers family of reenactors sponsors 8 Bells. Are you ready, Davey?
Here we go.
Let's see what we got. James William Ercolani, known as his stage name is James Darren, was an American television and film actor, television director, and singer. During the late 50s and early 60s, he had notable starring and supporting roles in films including Gidget, The Gene Krupa Story, All the Young Men, The Guns of Navarone, and Diamond Head. As a teen pop singer, he achieved hit singles including Goodbye Cruel World in 1961. He later became more active in the television industry, starring as Dr. Anthony Newman in the science fiction series The Time Tunnel. I remember that one. That one was one of my favorites as a kid. He appeared in the regular role of Officer James Corrigan in police drama T.J. Hooker, and in the recurring role of Vic Fontaine in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was 88 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Leon Graham, an American head coach of the Rice Owls baseball team in Houston, Texas. He coached 1 College World Series championship team and 5 NJCAA World Series championships. Also a former professional baseball player, Graham played in the Major League Baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. He also was 88 years old. Michael McDonald, an American costume designer who was nominated for both a Tony Award and Drama Desk Award in 2009 for his work on the Broadway revival of the musical Hair. In 2009, his work on the Broadway revival of Hair earned him nominations for both the Tony Award for Best Costume Design and the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Costume Design. He was 69 years old. Maria Bernetes, an American dancer, choreographer, and director in Spanish dance and flamenco, born of a mother of Chippewa, Algonquin, Oneida, and Iroquois parentage. Davey puts these hard ones in to get. And a Puerto Rican father. Benitez is best known for the work of the company she and her husband Cecilio founded and directed, Teatro Flamingo, New Mexico Governor's Award for Excellence in the field of dance, and she was 82 years old. Scott Simon, also known as Screamin' Scott Simon, was an American pianist known for playing in Sha-Na-Na from the April 70 until the band's disbandment. I was going to say dismemberment. Disbandment in 2022. He was 75. I remember him And my brother, he's watching, I know he is, he was a huge Sha-na-na fan. Wilbur H. Jennings, an American lyricist. He was popularly known for writing the lyrics for the songs Tears in Heaven and My Heart Will Go On. He was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame and won several awards, including 3 Grammy Awards, 2 Golden Globe Awards, and 2 Academy Awards. He was 80 years old. Paul Edward Goldsmith, an American racing driver. During his career, he raced motorcycles, stock cars, and Indianapolis cars, achieving success in each discipline. Goldsmith won the USAC Stock Car National Championship in 61 and 62, driving a Pontiac for Ray Nichols. Earlier in his career, he was a successful motorcycle racer within the AMA circuit, capturing the Daytona 200 for Harley-Davidson in 53 and 58, driving a Pontiac for Smokey Yunick, and Goldsmith won the final NASCAR stock car race on the Daytona Beach Road course. He was 98 years old. Patsy Lewis, an American soul singer and backing vocalist for the 1960s, Lewis was inducted into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame twice, as a solo artist in 2015 and as a member of Isaac Hayes' Hot Buttered Soul Group in 2017. She was 76 years old.
And this one just happened, and it was sad.
Oh, my. No. Wow. James Earl Jones. Boy, you gave me a hot lot to read here, didn't you?
Well,
oh, my goodness. James Earl Jones, an American actor known for his iconic voice acting roles and for his work in theater. Jones received 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, 2 Tony Awards, a Grammy Award. He also was the recipient of the Golden Globe Award and the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award. In 2011, he received an Academy Honorary Award. As such, he would be a recipient for the EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. If the definition of EGOT counted non-competitive awards, in 1985, Jones was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame. In 1977, Jones made his debut in the iconic voice role of Darth Vader with George Lucas' space opera blockbuster film Star Wars. A New Hope, which he reprised for the sequels, The Empire Strikes Back, The Return of the Jedi. Besides the Star Wars sequels, though, Jones was featured in several other box office hits of the 1980s. The action fantasy film Conan the Barbarian, I remember that. The Eddie Murphy comedy Coming to America, and the sports drama fantasy Fields of Dreams, which earned an Academy Award for Best Picture nomination. He also starred in the independent film Matawan. He was 93 years old. He is an icon. Good for catching that one, Davey.
Well, there was a lot more, but I mean, he did a lot of stage productions,
Yes.
but I just couldn't fit everything on.
Yep, absolutely. Good one, Davey. I'm sad by the passing. And ladies and gentlemen, we do this for the honor of these people. This is why it's called 8 Bells. And for any of you that do not know what 8 Bells is, 8 Bells was a significant ringing to mourn or to signify the passing of that person in the nautical world. And usually they would be dropped into the sea for their burial at sea. So as we always do, we honor them, their families, their fans, with 8 bells. Very good, Davey. Very good. That was a sad one. I like. Is Minnie Mayhem sitting in the wings?
He is.
Have you met Minnie Mayhem?
I don't believe so.
Well, guess what? You're about to meet Minnie Mayhem. Joke of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Salt City Comics sponsors our Joke of the Week with Minnie Mayhem, our comic who does some of the artwork that we use in our show, our new logo and our characters. Are you ready, Minnie? Come on out. Give us the Joke of the Week.
Ahoy, mates! Minnie Mayhem here with Joke of the Week, sponsored by Salt City Comics. What are 2 reasons a pirate will never drink toilet water? Think about it, and I will give you the answer at the end of the show.
I can usually tell what kind of joke this is going to be by watching Davey smile or snicker as this is showing up. And
Yeah,
I got
Mandy would be
more-
laughing right now, but I don't even have her here.
What's that?
Mandy would be snickering, but I don't even have her here.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't need two reasons to not drink
I
toilet
know.
water. One's
Well-
enough for me. Good one, Davey. Good one. And of course, we jump into quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, quote of the week is sponsored by our good friends at Spyglass Travel. They are one of the top 10 walking tours in the entire United States. Top 10. You want a good walking tour to St. Augustine, the oldest city in the nation? Call my friends up, Kevin and Angie at Spyglass Travel. Not only is it a good walking tour and full of history, it is a good cardio workout because it's over an hour long of walking. And everybody could use a little of that, including old Captain Mayhem here. I got to start looking back at how to get rid of some of this extra ballast I have. So, quote of the week, Davey, what is it? You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. Abraham Lincoln. I like that one. That's a good one, Davey. That's an appropriate one. I like that. Very good. All right. Good job, Davey. And of course, we jump right into National Day of. There's a couple of them.
4.
4 of them, right. So let's do the first 3. This one is National Wiener Schnitzel Day. Now, if Tinker were watching the show, he'd be telling us all about Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, he loves Wiener Schnitzel.
Made with veal. What's that, Davey?
I said, that's Tinker's favorite dish.
Yes, Tinker was in the military and stationed in Germany for quite a long time. So, and his wife is German. Cheers to Annette for putting up with Tinker. Share Your Care Day. Care Bears Share Your Care Day is celebrated annually on September 9th. Care Bears are on a mission to spread caring and sharing around the world and encourage fans to spread caring, sharing, love, friendship, acceptance, fun, and happiness to those you love every day. Isn't Care Bears, aren't there some cosplay people that do Care Bears?
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
I know that they do like My Little Pony too. So,
Yes.
so Care Bears is definitely a part of cosplay. I thought I had seen that before. So that's a very good one, appropriate for this week coming into the weekend. This one's a little bit weird. Each year on Monday following Labor Day, National Boss Employee Exchange Day offers an opportunity to see how the other half of a business works. I guess, Davey, you should be sitting here and I should be sitting there. And guess what? The show would flop. Yeah. And the last one, National Teddy Bear Day. Honors the history of one of the childhood's favorite toys. We have all had a special cuddly teddy as a child. Some of us still have our teddy bear from our childhood. No matter what kind of teddy bear you had, the day is a perfect time to celebrate your childhood friend. And to celebrate my childhood friend, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I didn't have teddy bears. But here's something that I've had since I was a kid. If you know lamb chops, there it is. This is my lamb chops puppet from when I was a young lad. I've carried it around with me all over the world. This lamb chops is probably 40 years old. But we don't stop there. I went to Japan. Everybody knows that. I spent 3 years in Japan. So I've been carrying around a Japanese Mickey for a while. These sit in my house in my pirate room now. I still am a big fan of stuffed animals. And of course, then I have another one here. Those of you that are Harry Potter fans, this is a Dumbledore rabbit.
Ooh.
Isn't this cute? I have a Dumbledore rabbit. And believe it or not, this was a gift from my stepdaughter, Stephanie, probably 15 years ago, give or take. And I've kept it around ever since, my Dumbledore rabbit. I think stuffed animals are really cool. I have one more here. I want to share this one. I've shared it before. This is Scorch the Dragon. There's a ventriloquist that has a dragon called Scorch. And we were friends out in Vegas. And then I got to be, a stooge in his show one time. And he gave me one of his Scorch the Dragon. It used to talk. It's got a voice box, but I have to figure out how to put it all back together again. But that's Scorch the Dragon.
Cute.
Yeah, he's a cutie. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're very into stuffed animals. Upon that note, ladies and gentlemen, question of the week. Did you have a stuffed animal, and what was it? sponsored by Ancient City Sirens, who will also be at the con.
Yes, they will.
They will be sharing their booth with the St. Augustine Swashbucklers as far as information and letting people know. And, well, then they're performing. I believe they're performing Saturday night.
Yeah, I believe that's right. And you can check the schedule for more details.
Yes, and we're going to show you how to find the schedule and everything else that's going on in just a little bit, all about Ancient City Con. Did you have a stuffed animal as a kid? And what was it? And do you still have it? I should have added that to the question, a 3-part question. Do you still have it? So Nightingale knew who Lamb Chops was, and she says, my stuff, I can do this. I don't have, there you go. My stuffed animal was a monkey when I was little.
Yay, monkey.
If you don't have one now, you can always pet our monkey here. Will the historian, that's my son in Alabama, he says, there it is, still have my teddy bear from when I was a young kid. I see representatives from Ancient City Pirates here too, Ancient City Privateers. I have way too many stuffed animals. Well, I don't know if you can have many. Bo has
Glowworm.
Glowworm. Have I missed any?
Oh,
I just saw this one. I had to look at this one. Some bosses would not like what I would exchange. That's Ransom Mayhem over in Panama City, and that is my brother. All right, very good. Still have my Care Bears. That's Lashing. Parlay 8. Are you going to make those Care Bears pirate soon?
Yeah.
Carry them around. Put some scars on them. That'll make them look good. I have a stuffed meatloaf. The singer. Okay. I don't think you really had to clarify that, but it's good that you did.
Yes.
Zachary Harker had a penguin. It's still stored somewhere safe. Well, go figure, somewhere up in Michigan, you might need a penguin because it's cold up there. All right. Very good. So everybody had stuffed animals. What did you have?
I still have a stuffed animal that my father gave me before he moved across the country, and it's my personal favorite, like, prized possession still. She blows kisses. She has magnets in her face so she can blow you kisses.
Yeah, and what is it?
It's a teddy bear.
It's a teddy bear?
Yeah,
Very
it's a
good.
pink teddy bear.
So just a real quick off the cuff, historical wise, do you know why teddy bears became very, very famous here in the United States?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, Davey, tell us.
Theodore Roosevelt.
That's right, Theodore Roosevelt. Will the historian still have my teddy bear, Ninja Turtles you sent me? Do you really? That would have been, you got those in 19... Wow, I got to think about this. You got those in 1989, I would think. I think that was it, 89. Very good. Well, I'm happy to know you still have them. Very good. All right. And Nightingale also got it right, Theodore Roosevelt. That'll be a story for another time. For now, though, let's see. This Week in Nautical History, Davey. I think that's next.
Yep.
So, our supporters for that is Florida Water Tours. We're hoping they'll stay. It is time for us to start bringing our sponsors back around. We do it every year around September. We hope they'll stay and be a part of us for another year. But ladies and gentlemen, Florida Water Tours. Like a walking tour, if you want a good tour from Matanzas Bay, you have to call Florida Water Tours. You ever been on one of their tours?
I haven't.
We have done
You
a
have
couple
to do
of
it
tours.
at Night of Lights.
Yeah, Night of Lights is
Oh
the
my
best time. In fact, I'm going to try to see if we can't get another Night of Lights tour set up for any of the pirates and any of our friends. And if I do, I'll let you know. You should come and take the tour.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Seeing Night of Lights from the Matanzas Bay is really cool. It really is. It's wonderful. But that is Florida Water Tours. You can find them and talk to them. But for now, This Week in Nautical History, Davey.
Welcome to This Week in Nautical History, sponsored by our friends at Florida Water Tours. Experience the Intercoastal Waterway at its finest, featuring picture-perfect attractions. We begin this week in nautical history in the year 1583, sinking of the English ship Squirrel off the Azores with explorer and founder of Newfoundland, Humphrey Gilbert, on board. 1782, the grand assault on Gibraltar by the Allied French and Spanish fleets, including 10 floating batteries and land forces is heavily defeated by the British garrison, with all of the floating batteries destroyed and Allied casualties of 1,473 compared to only 83 for British. 1792. Court-martial begins for instigators of the mutiny on the Bounty on board HMS Duke in Portsmouth Harbor, presided over by Vice Admiral Samuel Hood. 1814. Battle of Lake Champlain, New York. American Navy defeats British. Also 1814, Francis Scott Key pens the poem Defiance of Fort McHenry, later known as the Star-Spangled Banner, while witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry from a ship in Baltimore Harbor. 1835, HMS Beagle with Charles Darwin on board reaches the Galapagos Islands. 1841, Great Lakes steamer Erie sinks off Silver Creek, New York, kills 300. 1857, 423 die when steamship SS Central America, the Ship of Gold, sinks in a hurricane off Cape Romaine, South Carolina, carrying tons of gold coins and bricks from the California Gold Rush, rediscovered in 1988. 1931, British Naval Fleet mutinies at Invergordon over pay cuts. 1941, FDR orders U.S. Navy that any Axis ship found in American waters to be shot at on sight. Also, in 1941, first German ship in World War II captured by U.S. ship Busco. And that was This Week in Nautical History.
Great job, Davey. We were just talking about what a great job you do, and if it wasn't for you, this show would be me sitting here with a guest every week, wondering how to make this show work. So, Davey, a good job always, and I like to make sure that everybody knows it.
Thank you, Captain.
You're very welcome. We always talk about community concerns and considerations, past, present, and future, or the events calendar. So I believe I told Davey how I wanted to do it. So first off, Davey, did we talk about we want to talk about Spooktacular?
Yeah.
Yes. So two things. You have the Spooktacular flyer for sponsorship.
Yes, I do.
Let's do that one first. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to sponsor Spooktacular, we need a couple more $200, and it says $250 after the 5th of August. So right now it's $250. But here's the deal. I'm the captain. I can do whatever I want, right? If you know somebody that wants to be a sponsor and they click on the Venmo or the PayPal and put some money into the account to be a part of our Spooktacular, I will honor a $200 value. We'll drop $50 off of it just so you can be a part of it. Your name and logo will be on one of the scenes in Spooktacular. Your name and logo will be on the welcome sign at the beginning, and your name and logo will be on the entrance sign or the exit sign, thanking everybody for being there. And then we give you a few extra tickets to give away if you're however you like. And of course, we will be talking about you all over podcasts. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, we could use about 3 more, maybe 4 $200 sponsors. So if you know anybody, great. If you want to do it, we'd love to have you. And let's see what we can do. Maybe my good friend Ryan there could get Pirate Dinner Theater to let me use their logo. That would be kind of cool. Just a hint. You never know what might come about. But there you go. And of course, we do have a really cool video. Why don't we show that video, Davey?
Which one?
The Spooktacular one.
I know I got both of them.
Oh, do you? Show the one you remade, and then we'll show the new one.
Okay.
Mr. Longwood, have you heard? The St. Augustine Swashbucklers are bringing back Spooktacular for Halloween this year.
I got that sounds great.
It'll be on the grounds of the Colonial Quarter. And they have many family-friendly haunts, like the ship with 37 crew, right?
Good one.
A cemetery, a mermaid lair,
Oh, that's a very good one.
and, well, We won't give you any more details. The imagination is up to you. Come out and see us. Very good. That one, that actually we made 2 years ago, and Davey was actually able to add some things to it so that we could use it. We specifically, when we made it 2 years ago, tried to make it generic, so all we had to do was just throw some words on it. So Davey did a good job. What's the new one? The new one is Captain Mayhem frantically pacing.
You know what's coming in October of 2024? October 25, 26, 27, Spooktacular, where we're going to take this entire ship and change it to a skeleton crew of pirates just for your enjoyment. Come down and see us on the grounds of the Colonial Experience. 2024 Spooktacular by the St. Augustine Swashbucklers.
Very good, Davey. We make them short now so we can put them on our YouTube channel because shorts, I guess shorts are the big thing. Mm-hmm. Who would have known that me wearing shorts back in the day means that we can show our shorts now? I know that was silly, wasn't it? All right. What else did we want to talk about, Davey? But before we
don't forget, I also put a you also got the sample from our good buddies at City Gates Distillery.
That's right. City Gates Distillery has put out a new flavor on Saturday. It is mango and dado pepper whiskey. It is actually pretty good. Good enough that I bought 2 bottles. Do you have that video, David?
I do.
All right. My good friend Devin, the manager of City Gates Distilleries, pardon me, is in the video with me. And let's throw it out there.
September 7th, City Gates Distillery. My good friend Devin here. And look, they got a new flavor. Mango Dado Whiskey. We're going to test it out right now. I hear it's good. And my friend Devin's going to have one with me.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
All right. So has this been a good one today?
Very, very popular today. Our most sold product today. Absolutely.
This is their debut day. Oh, yeah. There's some sweet in there, but now there's some hot.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a Scoville test on it, I think.
Yeah, that's very good. So if you want a good one, look at this. Mango Dado Whiskey, City Gates Distillery, St. Augustine, Florida, September 7th, 2024.
Good job, Davey. And City Gates Distilleries make some really good drinking whiskey. They make peanut butter and they make salted caramel whiskey also. I like those two also. But this mango, very good. Bring a couple of bottles to PCB. You know what? I'll bring at least one and share it with everybody. How's that sound? Maybe 2. We'll see what we can do. But when we come over to Panama City, I'll bring a bottle or 2 over there so you can try it out. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot. So, Ancient City Con. Before we get into a huge discussion, well, maybe we just go ahead and get into the discussion. What do you got to kick us off, Davey, for Ancient City Con?
Well, do we want to at least brag on our...
There we go. Let's do that. Look at that. This lovely lady sitting here next to me is all of those characters combined. Now, do you go by Countess, Alyx?
I do. I do go by Countess Alyx. I have been under that screen name or persona, much like yourself,
right,
for 15 years now.
15. Mm-hmm. Well, we've been friends. We were talking about it before show. We've been friends now. I've done 2018, 19, 20 was an online because of COVID. 21, 22, and 23. That's 5. Mm-hmm. This is my 6th con, and I think we've been friends since the first one I did.
I think so too. Yes.
We've been friends since, and 1 or 2 of the first ones were really fun because they put me on a panel and I got to hang out with what's her name from Pirates of the Caribbean. Her name will come to my head in a few minutes, but she's become a friend of ours too, and we're going to see her this weekend. Mm-hmm. Plus at least one other actor from Pirates of the Caribbean, and we hope to get them to maybe come over and take pictures in our pirate area through the weekend. We'll see what happens. Max always says that they're there for a reason. They're not there just for you, Captain Mayhem, but they're pirates. So we'll see what happens. All right. So you've been doing cosplay for how many years?
15.
15 total.
I started in 2009, and
So you were like 4 years old when you started.
I was 16, I think.
16.
Was the year I had started. My first convention ever was an anime convention called Anime Festival Orlando. And from there, I had just fallen in love with it.
Anime is interesting. It derives mostly from Japanese art, correct?
Right, yes.
And so when I was in Japan in 1977 to 1980, 81, I had seen all this stuff and I found it interesting, but it didn't really become big in the United States until probably late 80s.
I'd say even the early 90s.
Early 90s, and then it became Japanese artwork for cartoons and animation was interesting, and when it became famous over here, I've told all my friends, yeah, I've known about it for 10 years before you did.
Yeah.
So you have 4 characters. Davey, can you put that up there, her picture back up there again?
Of course.
Thank you. So let's start with the one at the bottom, the red hair, right corner.
Okay.
Tell me what do these characters all have names?
Yes, so most of these are characters from different medias. So cosplay is not always like creating your own character, but sometimes it is. And I've done over 45 characters in the last 15 years.
Wow, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. How do you keep it all straight?
You don't. You do what you're passionate about.
Right.
So there are pieces that have been retired. There are pieces that I continue to wear. These are all still in my roster. So the bottom right-hand corner is from an anime. This anime is My Hero Academia. It is a superhero anime. And the creator based it a little bit on Marvel. This character is the Gadget Girl. Her name is May. And she does a lot of the gadgets and fixings for the other superhero characters.
Okay, very good. And so let's go to the one across on the bottom, the left corner.
The left corner is a character I created specifically for another event that our friend Max does. He does the Wizarding Market here in town.
Yep.
It's all Harry Potter themed. So we, don't want to use characters that might be legally problematic. So we go ahead and we create our own, and that is Agatha Pendragon. She's my own personal creation. She is an instructor from the Wizarding School and the head of the Wizarding Ministry. So she kind of is the leader of the individuals that we bring to this event. And they're all walk-around actors.
Right. That's you take on different personas the whole weekend.
Yeah, for much of what I do, as a host, I like to keep things fresh and interesting, and I'll definitely use characters that allow me to amp up that persona.
So the one in the right top looks like has ears.
Yeah, that is a demon character. He is a character called Blitz from an online show called Helva Boss. It is an adult animation piece. And I will actually be wearing this character on Friday to lead the burlesque show.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to come and get a picture with you with that one. I like that one.
Yeah.
And then the green one on the left there.
So the top left is a comic book character called She-Hulk from Marvel.
Oh, okay. I guess I should have figured that one out.
And that is the specific version from the recent live action show. So once that show launched, I donned this costume and I did charity events in it and things like that too. So it's a fun piece.
And then the more prominent one there, that is your Countess character, correct?
Yep, that's me. A lot of my branding is based on the spooky, but also the fun. A lot of the color palettes I use are things that are sparkly, but also kind of dark. I like doing like glamorized vampire persona, essentially. So that's what you get.
So when you do these characters, you made mention, and it can become problematic especially if you pick characters that are Disney-ish.
Depending on what we're doing, yes. And I do charity stuff in Disney characters. I also used to be a Disney princess for party companies, and there are definitely some legal boundaries because
Right.
Disney likes their money. So
Of course they do. So when you do these characters, we were talking earlier before pre-show, we both are of the same opinion that cosplay and cons are great for people of all ages,
absolutely.
especially people that are introverted, way introverted, very introverted,
Right.
because when they do this, they really are a different person, and they can come out of their shell.
Absolutely.
And taking theater and band away was a really bad thing for some of the schools, and children and young teens need an opportunity to
Be creative.
be creative.
In
That's the best
general.
way to put it. Is this you?
Yeah, that is me. That's an older piece. I don't have any tattoos. That looks like that was maybe 2017 or earlier. This is a character from an anime as well. And I used to wear that piece quite a bit, actually. So.
Who's your favorite character? Ooh, what's that one?
Oh, that's just a fun. That's just a fun shoot I did with a friend.
Now you do burlesque also.
I do. That's right. And for those who don't know what burlesque is, it is a cabaret style strip show. But I specifically focus on things like cosplay and character performance when it comes to my shows. So we could be someone like Mario from Nintendo and make it a fun adult show.
And when you say burlesque is a cosplay adult strip show, in some venues it's not like a full strip down and anything.
No, of course. We follow all kinds of laws here in Florida. They're called the blue laws, and it means that we will cover ourselves to the extent of the law. So wearing things like pasties or making sure that your items are taped down, glued down, things like that.
Right.
So it's all very tasteful, very artful. Everything is rhinestoned, and it's a whole lot of fun.
And is that you?
That is me.
It was on that. Now that magazine that comes out once a year.
Yep, that's our annual. I work with Max on that magazine, actually. That is the Jack's Nerd Zine here. Well, not here in Jacksonville, but in Jacksonville, where I am from. So the Jack's Nerd Zine is a local piece that tells people all about our community and the small local businesses that we have. So I was the first ever feature on the cover.
Very good. How long has this magazine been coming out now?
This is our third or fourth year, I believe. I think we're coming up on our fourth year.
Very cool. That's a nice picture too. Who's your favorite kid? What's that, Davey? Oh, what's this one?
This was a film that when I was a part of a company called Fango Media, we created a piece for Halo fan films. I believe it is on YouTube. And I played the Russian pilot in that film. So this is a little bit of my acting background as well.
Is it a short movie?
I think so. I think they might have cut it down to something like 45 minutes to an hour. I haven't gotten the chance to view it myself. But yeah, it was a piece we filmed during the pandemic. And
Alyx said I could pull anything from her thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
So who's your favorite character?
Oh, gosh. Well, the character that continues to stick with me over the years, and I've been wearing her for 14 years now, is Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony.
Oh,
But
really?
you mentioned My Little Pony earlier. And that was one of the things that got me into cosplay, was being able to be creative and create things because, it's a horse character.
Right.
I got the chance to create my own design and personify that however I chose. So I had a lot of fun creating that piece, and I continue to recreate it almost every year.
So what is your, and I may know the answer to this because every year you invite me to be a part of certain panels or discussions. And
yeah,
last year, I believe, you invited me in to be just a discussion with the audience with a very talented young person that I enjoyed having conversations with. You remember who it was? Short hair.
Dovin, maybe?
I think it was, yeah.
Krabby Fins. Krabby Fins is a phenomenal cosplayer that I get the chance to work with very often.
Yes.
And also my partner.
Well, a wonderful person to, when we had some of the conversations, and there's when I was on one of the other panels, and you made me tell the story last year too, because I do Santa Claus, and and the Santa Claus story.
It's one of my favorites.
So it's an effort to make everybody cry in the room, which usually works.
Yeah.
So yeah, Santa Claus can be considered cosplay because it's a costume character, and there are a lot of people that dress up as Santa Claus. I can tell you that. So when you do these things, these characters and these appearances, why?
Honestly, I believe that costume is a universal language. No matter where you come from, who you are, what language you speak, what ability you have, you are able to relate to character. And you and I are people who make magic for so many people through character. So no matter what age you are, seeing someone dressed as, the real life Iron Man is going to pull a little bit of that childhood wonder out of you and create so much love. But it also creates a space for people to feel like they belong.
That's true. That helps because there are, and I noticed it last year, because we do so many school tours in the Pirate Museum every year.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with an astronomical. We deal with a lot of kids in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade level, and I can tell you this from personal experience: COVID has really damaged personalities of children. It really has. It's made them many of them more introverted, many of them more shy. They also a lot of people, and these 4th, 5th, and 6th graders from COVID are now 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Mm-hmm. Personal space is not as understood as it should be.
Right.
And so costuming really gives these young people an opportunity to reach out and learn a little bit of self-discipline and self-control. Mm-hmm. Because if you used Iron Man, so we use Iron Man.
Right.
If you're dressed as Iron Man, you're going to be stoic like the Iron Man on TV. You're going to be all-knowing and all-powerful, and you're not going to run around and be some knucklehead screaming and hollering. You're going to try to create everything about that character, not just the costume.
Yeah.
The mental image of that character too. So, is that you?
That is me. That is
cool.
That is a nice one.
I created that piece for my father. He introduced me to Tim Burton, and it was my way of kind of bringing him into my world and telling him thank you for introducing me to art.
Well, see, now there's a question for you. How did your father introduce you to Tim Burton?
He himself is a nerd, but he's more of the whimsical kind. He's also very much into sci-fi, and he worked on cars and was a mechanic and was very into the robot genre.
Oh, very cool.
Of nerd things.
Very cool. So does your dad and mom live in this area? They live in Florida?
My parents live across the country.
Across the country.
They used to live, we were all from South Florida. So we moved from South Florida, and they're now across the country.
And your mom, when we were talking earlier, your mom doesn't quite get it.
No, and my mother and I don't really speak much anymore, but she and I had our differences in regards to the work that I do, and she thought it was very cool initially. It was also a way for me to communicate with my youngest brother, who is on the spectrum, and we made costumes together. So in regards to that, she loved it. She loved that I had the chance to connect with my little brother from a young age. But it can be difficult when your parents don't always understand how much you love something. But I'm thankful every day that they still support me in the ways that they can. My father buys the magazines I'm on. That's appreciated. He will generally follow all of the characters I'm doing and ask questions, but that took growth. And I always tell people when we do Ancient CityCon or any other events that if you are a parent who supports the cosplay community, that I personally thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you have no idea what it means to support a child who loves art and to watch them blossom, which you and I have kind of talked about.
Yes, and it's very important. I mean, my start in the entertainment world was when I was in grade school. I got my first magic set. I loved magic. I entertained. My brother, he had a magic set. We tried to do things together, but as brothers don't always work out together. That just wasn't way. My brother is an artist. He is his venue is at times is paint and sculpture. I was a performance artist. I also took up the trombone in the 5th grade or the 6th grade, and played trombone all the way through to the end of high school. I think it's also one of the reasons why Tom Mason, who just passed away last week, him and I had one connection. He always played the trombone in all of his pirate shows that he did with us. So it is very important if you have parents that support you, and so, but support comes in various forms.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to share with you a story. My father, dressing in garb or costume is a great way of reaching the special needs community. Absolutely right. Absolutely. So my father used to bust my chops on my magic tricks all the time. I learned a trick and go show him, and he'd point out how I did it. And I used to think he was just mean about it. Bust my chops, and I go back and practice some more and go back and show him and bust my chops again. And for the longest time, I just thought my dad didn't really, he was trying to keep me from doing something. So let's go now all the way into the 90s. And I'm in, actually 2001. So I'm now, let's see, so that's 23 years ago. So I'm now in my 40s. And my name is on the billboard, on the lit board in front of one of the casinos, because I'm starring in a show in Vegas as a magician. And I took that picture, and my mom always collected stuff. I'm sure when my mom and dad passed, there was a lot of stuff that got thrown away. But I found out later that my dad had made a snapshot of that picture and had it kept in his wallet. And I found out that he used to tell people all about it. So he wasn't mean to me on purpose. He was mean to me because he was strengthening my character. And so you really have to pay attention. Some parents have a different way of supporting. And he was very supportive. He was very supportive of everything that my brother and my sister did. And he was a good man for it. My mom supported us no matter what. That's the kind of woman she was. But Dad was a harder, stauncher supporter of things. But that's important. Yeah. Because if you have a parent that makes you work harder, it's not because they're being mean. It's because they're preparing you for what's in the future. And so it works out well. So you say you have 45 characters.
Yep. I haven't counted every single one, but we passed 40 about 2 years ago. So
do you have a bag and everything for this character is in this bag and everything for this character is in this bag, or a box, or how do you keep everything straight?
My filing system is very specific. So I have a garment bag for each character.
Okay.
They each have their little keychain on it with the character's face. And then from there, all of the accessories are in the garment bags, like little zipper pouches and things of that nature. So everything is labeled, filed, alphabetical order. It's a little bit of a problem, but I love what I do, and being able to quickly access something and pack it. It took a while, but we perfected it over the years.
Well, with that many characters, you've got to have some kind of a filing system. That's for sure. So you've put me on the spot before because of my Santa Claus story. So right. It's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill has 2 characters then, right?
Yeah. I have
Santa.
3 characters. I have
What's the third?
What's that?
What's the third?
My real persona, which nobody knows about.
Well, I got 2.
Yeah.
Davey, and then I also got the.
Yeah, and you have Powder Monkey also.
Which the little ones just love.
Yeah, the little ones love Powder Monkey. Yeah, very good.
But
so do you have a specific situation or instance that really sticks in your mind that brings it home to make it so that this is why we do it, kind of a thing?
Like with kids, little kids?
What's that, Davey?
She must have some, because Alyx said that she does like fairy tale ones. So do the little girls and stuff, do they like that when you, that really?
Tell us at least one right now.
Okay, so the one that always sticks in my mind is I think I've told this story around you before, but I'm going to say it again because it's one of my favorites to tell. There was an event that I did called the Jacksonville Christmas Party. And this was pre-pandemic. They used to bring characters in of all kinds through the charity events that we would all do. And I was a part of Costumers with a Cause, which is a charity organization. They're phenomenal. And it was one of my first events, I believe. And I was wearing a character called Pearl from a show called Steven Universe. And if you know nothing about this show, it is known as a piece of media that gives the LGBT community a bit more spotlight. And it was originally on Cartoon Network, and it's kind of like Sailor Moon-esque.
Okay.
It's really great. So I'm wearing this character. I'm nervous. I don't think anyone's going to know who I am. I'm standing next to people like Batman and Anakin Skywalker. And I'm just going, this is going to go terribly. No kid's going to know who I am. I was wrong. And I spent a good chunk of the day taking pictures with little ones, talking to people, really enjoying what was going on and personifying this character for so many people. Well, this younger individual who looked about 14 or 15 years old came up to me and looked me in the face, and I could just tell they connected with the character. And they said, "Pearl, it is so important that you are here." And they hugged me. And I am a queer person. And in that moment, I knew that that was someone feeling seen as a part of the community. So that is a moment for me that always holds tight as to why I continue to do these things. Because as a little kid myself, I didn't feel seen, but costumes help people feel seen and understood sometimes. And that was a huge part of it.
Well, children need to be recognized and need to be accepted and need to be seen.
Absolutely.
And cosplay and costumes, music, theater, magic. You said costuming is kind of a universal language.
Yeah.
I'm going to expand upon that. In my experience with magic and music, I believe the entertainment arts, almost everything you can think of having to do with the entertainment arts, is universal. I mean, go now and look. I when I need to relax, I have a great enjoyment that I go on YouTube and go to a section of YouTube called Dust. You familiar with that?
I'm not.
Dust is a collection of short movies, anywhere from 6 minutes to 45 minutes long. These movies, and they have science fiction ones, sci-fi. They have horror ones, and they have Western ones. And I've seen some pirate ones now, and they're just short movies. It's a complete movie, and Davey and I are getting ready to do our own. And I just believe that performance, some of these movies, and this is more the point I was trying to make, some of these movies are not made by Americans.
Right.
They're made by other countries, people in other foreigners, or well, not foreigners. That's probably the wrong word to say because they're not foreign in their own country. They're made by non-Americans. The entertainment world is not just an American commodity.
Right.
I've seen some really good films from India. I've seen a couple of good short films, plus a series, a television series from South Africa. It's just amazing. And I just watched one, a 3-year series, three season series from the Philippines. It was amazing to see all these things that are happening and all these different people that are wonderful stars from other countries.
Right.
And I think that this cons and cosplay is a good leaping point for a lot of people, a lot of young people, to get out there and really have a good time.
Absolutely.
And this con that we've done, or that I'm part of, I say we've done, I'm part of, it started out really small, but it's become a very big con in Florida. Since you work with Matt, you can probably tell me, do you know how many cons there are across the entire state?
So crash course in Florida con scene, we have a monopoly on them. So we have upwards of 50, 60 a year. We are one of the only states who is structured that way in regards to the convention scene in general. But it is a variety of everything from anime to events like ours, which is pop culture, Furry events, there's a ton of different conventions across the state, for sure. So there's accessibility for everyone here.
I think one of the reasons I like Ancient City Con, and I wanted to try to branch into some of the others, and Max has thrown a few things at me, but the timing has always been because I do so much work for the Pirate Museum, and then as captain of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, we do a lot of work too. But it's time for me to start looking at other venues. But one of the things I like about Ancient City Con, it's a variety. It's not a tunnel. It's not just superheroes. It's not just Star Trek. It's not just sci-fi. It is a wide variety of different venues in the entertainment, cosplay, and anime world.
Exactly.
And there are some not only talented people when they make their costumes, there are some people that are very talented with their artistic work who are vendors.
Absolutely.
I just marvel at the things that I see constantly. And it's always fun. Also, I get to meet many people that write books. I have a friend that has been at your con several years now. William LeClaire, he wrote a book, the zombie book that happened during the American Civil War. It was really cool. Yeah. He's been on the show before too. In fact, his book is in my bookcase. All those books that are in the bookcase on the other side, almost all those books have something to do with us having met the authors or done something with them. I'm an avid proponent on reading.
Right.
So this con is this weekend at World Golf Village. Davey, you have, let's start with a good banner of the con itself with the date and everything. You got something like that?
I do.
Of course you do. So ladies and gentlemen, you want to come out to the con? It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at World Golf Village. And you can go to, what's the website for them? Do you have that, Davey? Now, is there a per day fee or an all weekend fee for the con?
Right, so you can pay for your ticket per day, or you can pay for a weekend pass.
Right, and you can get it online.
Yep.
And I suggest you go online because you've got to see all the people that are going to be out here. There are some people that you may recognize. I've already had a few people that have gone to the website and go, hey, can you help us meet this person? I'm not a magical person, but look at this. You've got Star Trek, John O'Hurley. You've got Robin Curtis. You've got Vanessa Branch. That's my favorite right there. I'm looking forward to meeting Martin down at the very bottom. He was on the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm hoping we can get him into our booth to take a picture with some of our pirates. We'll see what happens. But there you go. John O'Hurley. Everybody knows John O'Hurley. If you don't know John O'Hurley, you've been living under a rock. He's done all kinds of things. And I hope that, Davey, I hope we get a chance to maybe do a quick interview with him if we can. So you've got the woman down in the very bottom, her grandfather is it her grandfather's the creator of Batman?
I believe so.
I believe so. I met her and talked to her the last 2 years she's been here. Philo Barnhart, I've talked to him a lot. He's the creator of many of the characters that you know, probably and love. And the woman in the center on the left, she's from one of the Friday night movies, I think it is.
Yeah, the Friday the 13th films.
Friday the 13th. So look at these. Surely many of you know these people. So I was curious, and maybe you can give me some information. You may not be able to. Davey, go back to that one first real quick. Up in the right corner, Rye Barrett. I saw a note that this is his first appearance in the United States.
Yes.
So is he a famous European cosplayer, or what do you know? Do you know much about him? I'm putting you on the spot on this one, but
That's okay. I will tell you what I do know, which I know that he is the leading character, I believe, in the film that is pictured next to his face that I cannot read because the font is very, very, very small.
I can't read it either.
But it is a very popular horror film here. It came out about a month or two ago.
Well, I guess we're going to have to look that one up and see. Now you can switch over, Davey.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
This is my favorite section.
These are voice actors.
These are all voice actors. Laura at the Pirate Museum is probably the biggest Disney fanatic in the world.
Mm-hmm.
She is terrible about it. And she found out that Jason Marsden is going to be there. And so she wants to come out. She said she needs her grandson to meet Goofy. Her grandson is only 2 months old. So I don't think he knows. But if you don't know some of the characters that these guys do voices for, I can't help you. I really can't. The one that does Scooby-Doo, he's been here almost every year, hasn't he?
Yeah, Scott Hines. This is the 55 years of Scooby-Doo celebration coming up on Friday the 13th. So he's actually celebrating the birthday of Scooby-Doo
Wow.
with us at Ancient City Con.
Very cool. Darn, 55 years?
Amazing.
So I was 11 or 12 years old when Scooby-Doo came out. Now I feel really old. So there's a couple more voice characters.
Yep, these are all anime voice actors.
Anime.
So we have a little bit of everything at Ancient City Con. There's really something for everybody, whether you're old, young, or just starting to learn a little bit about the convention scene.
I think that's what I like about it is the variety of everything that's there. It is a wide variety. Mm-hmm. I have only had one not so positive experience with somebody. Mm-hmm. It was a celebrity. Mm-hmm. It happens. I lived in Vegas for all those years.
Right, it happens.
I met a few celebrities that weren't that friendly. It's okay. I understand. And
now we get to go into cosplay.
Yeah, do you have the cosplay ones?
Of course.
Look at who is at the very top left-hand box.
Well, the host and MC, of course.
Yeah, very good. The guy in the red hair, the person in the red Riverglass.
Yes.
He was here last year, wasn't he?
Yes, Riverglass is one of our returning guests.
Yep.
So I am excited to have back. They are phenomenal makeup artist, performer. They do makeup down in Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights right now.
Yes, that's right.
So they're taking a break to come see us. But yeah, these are all of the wonderful people I get to work with, which I love to work with them. I've been the cosplay producer with Ancient City Con for 5 years now.
So is Sailor Geek a returner?
So Sailor Geek is actually brand new to the cosplay scene. I think that this is their 3rd ever guest spot. And Sailor Geek is someone who cosplays specifically from, the character we were talking about with the horns that I do.
Yeah.
Very, very similar to that genre of work. So we have a couple of the voice actors from that show. So there's a theme happening.
So let's see. So my wife saw the one in the top right.
Yes.
And said, "Oh, is that them?" And I said, "I think no, these are cosplayers. I don't think those are the actual actors."
Yeah, Artemistic is known for doing what we call in the performance industry like face characters. They do their face makeup to look exactly like the actor.
Right.
So, like the character of Glinda, spitting image.
Yeah, she thought, "Hey, there's Glinda the Good Witch." I said, "No, I think that's a cosplayer." But we'll still go have our picture taken with Glinda the Good Witch. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm not familiar with some of this stuff, these characters or this anime. I tell everybody it's because of my age, but I've enjoyed meeting some of these people because I'm in awe of the amount of work that goes into some of the costuming and the face painting and the hair.
It's a lot of dedication.
It is very a huge amount of dedication to do that. Do you have any more?
Of course.
Good. Let's see. So who's that pirate there? We gotta get rid of him.
They threw you into cosplay.
What's that?
They threw you into a cosplay character.
Yeah, that's basically. I kind of feel that's basically where I belong.
One of us.
Yeah, I'm a cosplay character. Look. Here's how I look at it. I may have made this comment a time or two to Max, but I've been very honored to have been asked to be a part of this for the last 6 years. This being our 6th year to do it. Max has always given us a space to show off our pirating, and the reason it started is because Ancient City Con is always right around Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yep. And
he wanted a pirate influence in there, and I think 6 years ago Talk Like a Pirate Day was on the weekend.
It was.
That's how we started, and so every year he brings us back. And in fact, this year I'll tell you a conversation I had with Max online. I had sent him a message, and this was about 3 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, is there going to be any need for a pirate, or you have any space for this old pirate? And he sent me back a message, and he goes, we always want you to come. You don't have to ask. Just always assume you're going to be here. And I just told him, I don't like to assume, because if you got mad at me and I showed up and I wasn't welcome, that would be embarrassing. So,
Right.
but we go every year, and the swashbucklers, I have probably a dozen of the swashbucklers that will be there, because I can't stay in the booth the whole time. I'm doing a seminar. I'm hoping to do some other stuff with my good friend right here. The judging of the contest, though, leave me out of that. Okay,
That's okay.
Leave me out
You're
of that.
a very busy man.
You asked me once, and I really had a hard time judging people for their talents, because some of the ones that I thought were really, really good didn't get the vote from some of the other judges. So I was looking at it from a different point of view, I think. And so you can leave me out of that.
Okay.
But I'm happy to sit on any panel or any discussion we have there. I really like these guys down in the right-hand corner there, Costumes for the Cause.
Yeah, one of my buddies, Cal, is one of the characters.
Yes,
Yes.
I really think the world of these guys. In fact, they have are they doing a seminar or something? Do they have something going on?
I believe they do have
I
a
think
panel,
they do.
but,
They have a panel. So they're really good. The mermaids, are they the same ones from last year?
Yep, they are returning guests.
All right,
we
very
love
good.
working with them. They're phenomenal.
Yes, they were a lot of fun, and some of our pirates went. Now, some of my female pirates in my crew, they do mermaid also,
Right.
but we don't bring our mermaids out because you have somebody already. So
Yes.
we kind of leave that alone. You don't really have pirates
No, we don't.
in any way, shape, or form. So
we have you guys, and
that's it. And then you bring in Vanessa Branch every year, and she's just lovely. I got excited when I found out she was a Maxim girl.
no way.
Yeah. So, and she was also the Orbit Gum Girl.
Yes, I remember those commercials.
Yeah, she was the Orbit Gum
Now,
Girl.
we also have comics.
Yep.
That's right. We do have comic guests.
He did have comic guests. So if you know any of these comics right here, that's it's just a huge variety of people, and they all is probably not the right word. For the most part, all of these people, no matter what the level that they're in this world, they really enjoy meeting their fans.
Absolutely.
And they should. So here's a couple more. Nico Comics, isn't he out of Jacksonville?
I cannot accurately say.
I believe he's out of Jacksonville, but I'll have to double check.
I know Cliff is.
Cliff, which
Bottom.
bottom right. Yep, I know Cliff is
he's
also.
an author. I am not sure.
Yep.
But yeah, but most of these comic artists and authors are local. So, if you.
And I've talked to several of them and tried to and gotten information from them, because when we do our Pirate Festival in February, we have a space just for authors. But I can't keep up with all of them. It just gets.
We also have
run
attractions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ancient City Sirens. There they are down at the bottom.
Yep.
Yes.
Ancient City Sirens. The Traveling TARDIS. He was here last year, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
No?
I can't remember.
But
The Star Trek bridge wasn't that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They returned almost every year.
Yep, they're there every year. And then you've got the is it up in the top right corner?
Our Mimic Misadventure friends, the Quest Givers.
The Quest Givers, yeah. We were going to bring them to our Pirate Festival last year, and I don't remember what happened as far as the loss of communication happened, and we didn't bring them. So we may have to bring them in this year, because we've made some changes to our festival, and I know why we didn't bring them in. We had, when we got ready to, when the turn of the year came and we were ready to do Pirate Festival 2023, we'd lost a huge portion of our sponsorship.
Oh, I see.
And we ended up doing, which against my better judgment, the crew wanted to do the event anyway, so we made it a free event. Nobody had to pay a ticket to get in.
Oh, yeah.
We were just as successful with free people coming in as we were charging for a ticket price.
Really?
So it's now become a free event every year in February for the families.
Very good.
So it works out. So if I can bring people in like these guys here to do their quest, and one of my favorite dancers,
We know them.
Troops, Noise Complaint,
They were at our festival.
Yep, they were at our festival, and we're going to have to bring them in and see what we can do. And I try to make sure that every one of our entertainers gets some kind of money, but it's a charity thing that we do too. So you've got some great people coming in, and the nice thing is we know a good portion of them.
Maybe Alyx can explain this.
What's that? Very good. Explain this.
This is a little bit of the information for the Nerdy Film Festival. And it looks like they'll be showing things like Friday the 13th. Oh, sorry, Fright Day the 13th. And a couple of other like indie pieces. So if you want to support the arts and come see some stuff that's made here in Jax, the Jax Film Festival will be featured at Ancient City Con.
Very cool. And when is the Jax Film Festival actually?
I can't say for certain.
Do you see a date in there anywhere, Davey?
No. I just got on that website. I've gotten a lot of auditions for some of their independent things, but our schedule's such that I
Right.
As you know, it takes a lot with movies, as we've learned.
Yeah, when we did what was it? Time Will Tell.
Yeah.
Time Will Tell. We shot it. All the scenes. Some of the scenes were shot in November. Some of the scenes were shot in January.
Mm-hmm.
It all was depending on where we could get locations and everything else, and it was a lot of fun. But it gave Davey and I the bug that we want to do our own. So I guess the goal would be to do our own prior to this film festival in Jacksonville next year, so we could put it in there and see what happens. And our pirate movie is probably going to be more towards humorous than anything else. We're going to make fun of ourselves, and Davey and I, when we come up with little snippet ideas to put in the notes, we find ourselves laughing at each other because it's funny. Right, Davey?
Yeah. Oh, they're always looking for, once you get into that, they're always looking for actors and actresses to be in those independent films in Jacksonville. And there's tons of roles.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to keep that in mind. Maybe there might be some new advances for me out there. You never know. We can go out and become pirate adventurers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Space for pirates. Space pirates. Oh. All right. So let's see. We've talked about Ancient City Con. If you want to come out there, I do know the timing of Ancient City Con on Friday is 1 to 7. On Saturday, 11 to 7. Or is it noon to 7? Noon to 7. And on Sunday, it is noon to 6, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That feels right.
And come on out. The St. Augustine Swashbucklers booth is in the lobby. You can't miss us. You go in the event, you're going to go right by us. You come out of the event, you're going to go right by us.
Oh, perhaps Alyx can tell them about, there's also on Friday and Saturday, they have the after hours.
Yes, let's talk about that real quick. So there are after-hour shows on Friday and Saturday night, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which you are emceeing or hosting?
Yes, I am one of the MCs for the Friday night show, which is all horror themed and centered around Friday the 13th because we were having our party on Friday the 13th. So we have some of the actors from those films coming out to be a part of that event. We have Noise Complaint performing. We have several different performances happening. And then, of course, our feature entertainment for that evening, which we do every year, is the burlesque show that I work with and produce. So please come out and see us. It is an 18-plus event, and it's all horror themed this year.
Are there fees to get into these different shows?
For Friday night, there is not.
Okay.
Saturday, I am uncertain, but you can check it out on the website and take a look at our schedule.
And I think I'm going to have to go and check out some of these. David, do you have the little poster I made and gave you for my seminar?
Oh, I do.
So there are seminars that you can go to, seminars or panels or what other words you want. My seminar, we tried it last year. It went over well. I think I had 25 or 30 people. So my seminar is on Saturday from 2 to 3 in the Legends 2 room. And basically it is, we call it the genesis of your inner character in 1 hour. It's kind of bits and pieces of my acting seminar that I do, which is a 3 to 4 hour seminar. So we just take some of the fun stuff of my acting life, my pirate life, and we throw it out there and just have a good time with it. You can ask questions and have a good time. We charge $5 per person at the door. It's a minimal fee, but everybody that comes is going to get and we did it last year, everybody that shows up and pays $5, they get a gift from me at the end of the whole thing. I'm going to give everybody a gift. Everybody gets a gift as a token of my thank you for coming to my seminar. Last year, they put me on Sunday, and it was like, wow, I wonder if they did that on purpose. But this year, Max said, I want to put you on Saturday. So I'm happy with that. And let's see what happens. But I'm going to talk about my magic career, my Vegas career, my pirate career, everything that I've done. And it's just a lot of fun. And I like answering questions, but I like the idea that people are asking questions because they're truly interested. And it's not that they're interested in me or what I'm doing. They're interested because they're considering certain things in their life too.
Right.
And so if I can provide information or whatever, it's wonderful. If you come by our table in the lobby, you can get one of your tickets. You can get a ticket in advance, or you can just pay at the door and come in at 2:00 and have some fun and talk about pirates and whatever else we can talk about. And I have a free gift for everyone that comes to my show or my seminar. So I hope you will come out and enjoy that on Saturday afternoon from 2 to 3. Is there anything we've missed about talking about Ancient City Con?
So I know I have them.
There's
These are the after hours. They having Friday is Camp Disco.
Yep, that is the Friday the 13th after hours event, and this event is included in your ticket.
Oh, it looks like Countess Alexis.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh,
She got horns.
Look, she's got horns.
Oh, I didn't realize you put that on there. In small print, I didn't see that before. It says the Best of Jack's cosplayer.
And noise complaints there.
Yeah, and noise complaint. That is the lineup for all of the wonderful dancers I have. Right.
Krabby Fins. I get to go and say hello.
Small Fry.
Yep, Small Fry. Small Fry's been a repeat performer. They're fantastic. Remy D is our headliner this year. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great lineup and a good show.
So is it a golf night? Where is that? Voltaire is going to be back again. Huh?
Yes.
He comes every year.
He's Saturday night.
My wife loves Voltaire, so we may end up being there a lot through the weekend. Golf night. I don't recognize any of those, but then that's not unusual. Wait a minute. I do. I spent a lot of time talking with Rogue last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun talking with him. He actually stood in the background of my seminar. So
wonderful.
It was nice to talk to him. I guess even at my age, and this is going to sound really corny.
Mm-hmm.
Having done this now, from this being my 6th year, but having been accepted into this community at my age, doing what I do, it's been really inspiring for me to want to do even more. So we all get inspired by certain things, and I guess it just proves one thing: you're never too old.
No, not at all.
No, never too old. So it's been good. Very good, Davey. You did a good job with everything. There's ancientcitycon.com at the bottom of the screen. Get your tickets. Come out and see us. Come hang out in the lobby at our booth. Our booth is 29 feet wide by 12 feet deep. We're going to have a whole lot of space to do a whole lot. We have some things going on like Leon, our quartermaster. He makes leather products, and he's been making some leather things to sell there if you want to get some good leather products. We have some other things going on. We've got a whole slew of T-shirts from almost all of our events, extra T-shirts.
Very good.
We're going to bring them out there, and if anybody wants to get some kind of a pirate T-shirt from any event we've done in the past, I think we're going to sell those T-shirts for $3 a piece, and all the money goes to charity, just to get rid of them. And if you want a T-shirt, there you go. We also have some costume makers in our crew, and they've been told if they want to try to get some costuming out there, some pants and shirts for anybody that wants to do. And it may seem to be pirate, but it is. You could use our costuming for Ren Fair.
Mm-hmm.
You can use our costuming for steampunk. Or if any of the characters, there's some of the characters in some of the anime that are actually old world characters. So you can use a lot of the things that we have for whatever. And we'll have other props and other things that we have pulled out of our storage closet here to just have it available for everybody. And we're not trying to compete with anybody as far as the vendors are concerned inside. And I think most of the stuff we have, you wouldn't find inside with the vendors anyway. And we're putting it up there at a very minimal cost because all the money just that we raise at Ancient City Con goes to our charities.
Wonderful.
So nobody's making any money on this. So
my understanding is you haven't experienced an after hours party on Friday night unless you've done an Alyx after hours party on Friday.
there you
Is
go.
that what someone said?
That's the rumor we hear now, right? There you go. Got to experience it. So yes, and it just gives me an extra opportunity to have more pictures taken with this lovely lady right here. We're gonna have to change something here. That mirror on the side, I keep seeing my head moving in the mirror on the side. I got to cover that mirror up. So, all right, Davey, we did everything up, and it is actually right now time for This Week in History, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's sponsored by our good friends at Dick's Wings. You want a good lunch special? Dick's Wings has lunch special starting at $8.99 and up. They have 4 different varieties of hot dogs. They have a very, very good hamburger. I may be going to lunch there one day this week. We'll see what happens. But if you want a good lunch, Dick's Wings here on US 1. And I'm going to just drop this as a small hint. The man that owns Dick's Wings here in St. Augustine has just made the purchase over the last couple of weeks, and he will be running a Dick's Wings up in Jacksonville now.
Oh, fantastic.
So I don't remember the location, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But I sent him, he's a sponsor, so I sent him his new sponsorship package. If he bites and decides to do it, I told him that we would include both locations for the price of one. Just because I like having Dick's Wings as part of it. And if you go to Dick's Wings, if you happen to get one of our coins, and we have coins for the podcast, it's a poker chip, or coins for the crew, which is a poker chip. If you take them to Dick's Wings, you can trade it in for a free drink. No limit on the value of the drink. Top shelf if you want. He's a good man. So there you go, Davey. There's an advertisement for Dick's Wings. Let's see This Week in History.
Welcome to This Week in History, sponsored by our good friends at Dick's Wings Bar and Grill. Wings, salads, wraps, quesadillas, and more. No matter what your taste buds crave, they've got you covered. We begin This Week in History in the year 1848. Alexander Stewart opens the first U.S. department store, the Marble Palace, in downtown New York City. 1862. Robert E. Lee splits his army and sends Jackson to capture Harper's Ferry. 1888. Easter Island, Rapa Nui in the Pacific is annexed by Chile. 1917. Forbes magazine founded by B.C. Forbes and Walter Dre in the U.S. 1919. Hydrofoil design by Alexander Graham Bell, his wife Mabel Bell, and F.W. Casey Baldwin sets new water speed record of 114 kilometers an hour on Brastioa, Nova Scotia. 1953. Swanson sells its first TV dinner. 1955. Gunsmoke premieres on CBS TV, starring James Arness. 1956. Elvis Presley appears on The Ed Sullivan Show for the first time. Also in 1956, IBM introduces the RAMAC 305, first commercial computer with a hard drive that uses magnetic disk storage, weighs over a ton. 1966, the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act, signed into law by U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson, first federal safety standards for vehicles and roads. 1977, the Atari 2600, originally known as the Atari Video Computer System, is released in North America. revolutionizing the video game industry. 2001, attempt by passengers and crew of United Airlines Flight 93 to take control of the hijacked plane from terrorists causes plane to crash in Pennsylvania field, killing all 64 people on board. Also in 2001, 2 passenger planes hijacked by Al-Qaeda terrorists crashed into New York's World Trade Towers, causing the collapse of both and deaths of 2,606 people. And that was this week in history.
A couple of times where I've done that. Oh, we're back. Okay. Oh, caught me having a private conversation.
Sorry.
So let's see. We did that, and it is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for guests on deck. Right, Dave? No, it is time for the captain's desk. Thank you very much. I do have it right here on the screen. All I have to do is call it up so I can read it. And it is that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, I like to write. I also like to write on things that are important, not just to me, but what I would hope would be to everybody. So I ask for your indulgence as I speak. So from the captain's desk, here is what I have to say. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. That's straight from the Bible, ladies and gentlemen, Luke 6, chapter 6, verse 31. Now, I'm not trying to preach any religion here, so please bear with me as I explain deeper. Known as the Golden Rule, this quote promotes treating others with kindness, respect, and empathy. It emphasizes the importance of considering how we would like to be treated and extending that same treatment to others. Now, whether you believe in Christian views or not, this verse is ultimately universal. While in college, I took a class on comparative religion, learning the views of other beliefs. I truly enjoyed it. It was so interesting, and there was quite the discussion that this very verse brought up, do unto others, can actually be found, believe it or not, in just about every belief system, a variety or variation of do unto others. So why has it become so hard for so many people to consider and practice this simple thought and or behavior? The dawning of information at our fingertips, the push of a button or the turn of a switch. This has become a very lethal weapon for everyone, but it's not just our access to all this information. That's not the major problem. It is also our immediate ability to spout off our thoughts and beliefs instantaneously through social media in relationship to all this information. Now, if you think about it, this is not a bad thing, but what's bad is our ability to spout without understanding our responsibility or consequences. That is the issue, and that is the problem. And here is where the golden rule should be especially considered, as much as, if not more, so via social media than in person. So much more via social media than in person. I have lately so often heard that words are violence. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's true. Words can incite violence, and so many people, especially people in power and authority, can and will knowingly use the words to turn citizens and friends against each other. The words are not violence, it's the incitement that is. Free speech is not free, ladies and gentlemen. You pay for your supposed free speech by acknowledging your responsibility to the words you say or type and accepting the consequences that come from your words. We are entering into a realm where, because we seem to ignore the basic idea of the golden rule, we find ourselves in a society where if someone doesn't believe in the things you do, that we should hate them, look down upon them, and even take steps to destroy them on way too many levels. As an entertainer for 50 years and a tour guide and a historian for 20 years, I have met and have good friends whose thoughts, beliefs, values, and life is quite different from my own. I have had disagreements with these friends, but I have never hated them. In fact, I delight in the differences they bring to my life and to our relationship, and even to the discussions we have on many of these differences. I have always said, prior to the invention of photo equipment and recording devices, nothing we know about history is absolute. A healthy dose of understanding of human nature and common sense can go a long way into reshaping our behavior towards others, especially those we may have disagreements with. So before you speak, before you act, consider the golden rule. After all, doesn't the golden rule really mean have respect for others as you want to be respected in turn? And that's my thought for this week. What do you think?
I think the golden rule is a good one to have.
I think it's very important. So there you have it. So ladies and gentlemen, please just be respectful of people. We've grown into a society that isn't tolerant. And tolerance is very important. So my words final. And Davey, let's go ahead and do the guests on deck. What do we have coming up? You know?
I do.
Very good, Davey. I do know that we're having an extra guest on the night next week with Scarlett Deerhart. We have a guest who is a pirate and does music, and he's part of the Pirate Dinner Theater in Orlando. He's also on the show with us that night. And he'll be here in person, where Scarlett will be here via remote live. Joke of the week with Mini Mayhem. I'm dying to understand why pirates don't drink toilet.
All right.
Okay, it's time for the answer to the joke of the week. What are 2 reasons a pirate will never drink toilet water? The answer is number 1 and number 2.
See, now Alyx is laughing. I don't have Mandy here, but Alyx is laughing, so that's just
All right. I will give you credit. That's not a bad one. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that one coming at all. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yuck. Ugh. Hey. All right. Did we have any good comments there? Huzzah, there it is. Yes, you're right. All right. So, it is a golden rule, but in today's society, it is rusted. Good point. Very good point. I appreciate that. Black Sails Adventure. I see you are on board with us tonight. Very good. How come that just didn't pop up there? There it is. 2600 was awesome when it came out. Boy, am I old. Let's see. So Ryan is our good friend. 2 very good reasons. Absolutely right. 2 very good reasons. There is nothing now. I'm at a loss for words. I am really at a loss for words. Will the historian, that's my son. Wait a minute. Never eat yellow snow or drink brown water. Yep, there you go. Where's this one? Here you go. This one here. My son is very big into Marvel and superheroes and everything else. And he's been on my show a couple of times. We did Batman or Superman, and we're going to do Batman soon. So he really liked your She-Hulk is outstanding.
Thank
Do you have the muscles too?
I wish they're painted on.
Darn.
Now, Ryan, I tried to get her to do that. She says she cannot do that. I asked her last year.
Yeah.
Could I be in a picture? Please slap me like you did. She can't do
Get Vanessa to slap you, Mayhem. All
she
right.
won't do it. She's not allowed to do it.
Yeah, she's not allowed to do it. I tell you what, I'd rather have her just hug me and give me a nice kiss. I'm sure that wouldn't go over very well either with a few people. Vanessa is wonderful. She also was in Star Trek too. Mm-hmm. So is she still living in Florida?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. We've tried very hard to get her on this show. I want her to sit right there with me, but her schedule is always because of her boy.
Right.
Her boy creates a schedule that's hard for her. But if I can get her on this show, it is the one guest I haven't had on my show that I really want on the show, and we've been friends for 4 years. I think she's been there 4 years now, right?
About 4, I think.
Yeah. So she's a great one. I have her picture hanging on my wall. I'd let her slap me if she wanted to.
Oh, I begged for it.
Yeah. So any others? Did I miss anything else? Next week, we'll talk Pirate Dinner Adventure, Decades on the Beach, Rock and Pirate Festival, and remember our dear friend Tom Mason. We are going to do that and sing happy birthday to our good friend Scarlett Deerhart for her birthday, because she is a Talk Like a Pirate Day baby. So we'll be celebrating. She's been on our Talk Like a Pirate Day anniversary show every year since we started. So we're proud to have her here and be a part of what we do. I don't think I missed anything else. Did I, Davey?
No.
Very good. I see a couple of things where crew were talking to each other. Good enough. So I guess we have to do our thank yous now. So let's do our first one, our thank you to all of our everybody.
The Captain's Quarters podcast is indeed a ship sailing the seas of the world, always in search of history, knowledge, and adventure. It takes a crew to run a ship, so we take this opportunity to thank those who help keep this ship afloat.
The casting crew: Captain William Mayhem, Navigator Davy Longwood, Gunner Hellfire Henley, Cartographer Mandy Joe, the Powder Monkey, and Juan Cam.
Helping others gives a crew purpose. Our treasured charities that we support: Inc., investing in kids; the Humane Society of St. Johns County; Aelia's Acres, a no-kill animal rescue zone; and the Cadets of the St. Johns County Fire Department. The four major charities that we support, but there's always room for more.
You too can be part of the crew and support the show in many ways. Go to Patreon. A small monthly contribution as Powder Monkey or First Mate memberships, or a single contribution. PayPal or Venmo. Go to YouTube. Hit the like and follow buttons to join our ranks and support the show. It does take a crew. Thank you.
Very good, Davey. And this is all of our platforms, ladies and gentlemen, and we just added a new one. You can watch us visually on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitch. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Music, Amazon, Twitter, Castbox, Spotify, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. That puts us on 11 platforms now, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's pretty good. I'm proud of that. Our numbers, Davey, are they any good?
Yes, they are. Here they are.
Pretty good, Davey. I saw a couple of spots there where I think we can bump our numbers up in the next couple of weeks. Oh, D. Gregory, give you 5 screens, 2 phones, 2 televisions, and a desktop PC. Well, I'll take it. Mr. Gregory, thank you very much. We were talking about you earlier. I did not see that you were in the show, but thank you very much for being here. We have quite a few people here, all on our show from all around the country. Thank you all very much. And on that note, Davey, there's our email, captainsquarterspodcast21@gmail.com. If you have an idea, a suggestion, or something we can put on the show that supports your charitable drive, let us know. Davey and I and Mandy are doing this because we enjoy it. Are we making lots of money? Absolutely not. But like almost everything having to do with theater and the arts, the love of doing it is far greater than the paycheck. although love doesn't pay the bills. We hope that will continue to watch us because we can't do it without you. Now, before we leave, there are two things we always do with our guests. The first one is we give them a gift. They get to have one of our very own coins for their very own. And this is one of our older coins. When they have the new ones come out, you'll get one of those too, but there you go. Now, it's a $100 poker chip. It's not worth $100, though, so don't get excited. On that note, also, we always like to tell our guests, I'd like to give you the last word. You have the platform to say whatever you would like to say right now. Anything. It doesn't matter.
Oh, gosh.
Put you on the spot.
It's a lot of power.
Yes.
My name is Countess Alyx. Thank you so much for watching us tonight. And if you would like to support the cosplay community or see what we're all about, join us this weekend at Ancient City Con. Follow me on any of the social media links that appeal to you on my link tree, which is scrolling the screen right now. And don't forget that cosplay is a universal language, and we invite you to be a part of it.
That's what we need, ladies and gentlemen, people to come out. Come out and see us this weekend, Friday night or Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday. Come out and have a good time. Meet all these celebrities, these stars, these voiceovers. The Countess here. Captain Mayhem will be there. We're setting up an area within our booth to take a photo opportunity with pirates and a background. Haven't decided what background yet, and we might change it. We have enough backgrounds now and tapestries to maybe have a different one on Friday and a different one on Saturday and a different one on a Sunday. Just depends on how much work we want to fit into it. But come on out, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important to have you come out and support the arts. Not just me, not just Alyx, but all the people that are out there having a good time, showing off their talents, whether it be here or here. We can bring everybody back up. So come and join us. It's a lot of fun. As I said, it's my 6th year. Davey will be out there with our cameras doing little interviews and little snippets. And our podcast will actually have a small area in our booth set up to actually invite anybody that wants to sit down and do something. I've got an idea that because Talk Like a Pirate Day is coming up, we might set the camera up and have anybody sit down and give us their best R or their best pirate joke and see what happens with all of that. On that note, Davey, how do we close our show?
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew. Always. We can't do it without you. Well, we could. It just wouldn't be as much fun. So tune in to us every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, Captain's Quarters Podcast. We look forward to seeing you next week for episode 153 and throughout the weekend at World Golf Village, St. Johns County, St. Augustine, Florida, Ancient City Con. Come on out. Look forward to seeing you. And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Captain.
It was a lot of fun. And I love it when I have good guests. And as you can see, our show went 1 hour and 43 minutes. If it's no guest, our show's done in 45 minutes. Thank you all very much. We'll see you this weekend. Cheers. Aye.
Of history's embrace.